Sometimes life hits us with a force we believe is impossible to bear. A moment of silence, and suddenly everything seems to crumble. Everything we thought was stable, secure, even our own sense of who we are, vanishes. And there, in that absolute void, we feel the deepest fear. The fear of never being able to get back up. But I want you to know something from the very beginning. You haven't arrived here by accident. Every fall, every defeat, every dark night of the soul has been a silent calling. A whisper telling you it's time to awaken, to look beyond the visible, and to begin a journey that will transform your life from the inside out. Hitting rock bottom isn't the end. It's a threshold. It's the moment your old self, the one that has relied on illusory certainties, shatters so that something more authentic can be born. On this journey, there are no shortcuts. There are no magic formulas. There is only a process of awakening, an encounter with yourself that pushes you to feel, to acknowledge, and to be reborn. Imagine for a moment that your body and mind are like a garden. For years, you've planted seeds of fear, of external expectations, of anxiety, and of self-judgment. Some have grown and flourished, others have withered in silence. And now, after the storm, the garden seems devastated. But even in the most barren soil, life is still possible. Beneath the surface, there are still deep roots, waiting for the chance to sprout again. In this video, I won't talk about quick fixes or formulas that promise instant miracles. I invite you to a much deeper process, the recognition of your inner energy, your life force, and your ability to reconnect with your essence. Just as ancient masters taught that certain points in our body can unlock flows of energy and well-being, every emotion, every thought, and every conscious act can become a seed of rebirth. Life, though sometimes cruel, is also a mirror that reflects our strength. When you look back and see everything you have endured, you can begin to see not just scars, but also the evidence of your ability to resist. Every tear, every defeat, every moment of confusion has been a silent teacher, preparing you for an awakening that doesn't depend on chance. It depends on your decision to live with authenticity and courage. Today, I want you to feel the power of that decision, because even in the midst of chaos, there is a space where you can breathe, a space where external expectations, the pressure to perform, the feeling of failure, lose their power over you. A space where transformation begins, and that space isn't outside, it's within you. To be reborn doesn't mean erasing your past or pretending everything has been easy. To be reborn means looking at your history with honesty, accepting your pain, and despite it, choosing to move forward. It means reclaiming the connection with your own energy, with your vitality, with the certainty that you can still create, feel, and live from a more authentic place. In the next few minutes, we will walk a path together that will take you from the darkness of hitting rock bottom to the clarity of feeling alive again. I will show you how to understand your emotions, how to reconnect with your inner energy, and how to build a new self that doesn't depend on external approval or anyone else's validation. Prepare for a deep journey, a journey where every word, every breath, and every reflection will be a seed for your rebirth. There's no rush, there's no pressure, just the opportunity to remember who you really are and how you can rise even after feeling that all is lost. There are moments in life when it seems the entire world is collapsing around you. Everything you thought was firm, secure, and stable falls apart, leaving a void that can't be filled with superficial words or actions. In those moments, you might feel that nothing is left, that everything has been in vain, that every effort has been swallowed by darkness. But there's something important you need to understand. Hitting rock bottom is not a sign of weakness, but of awakening. It's the point where life forces you to face what you've been avoiding. It's the instant where there's no more room for denial, for escapism, or for excuses. And although it hurts, although it seems unfair, it is the fertile ground where the seeds of true change are sown. When we are in the depths of pain, every thought becomes a mirror, reflecting our most hidden wounds. Anxiety becomes a constant companion. Uncertainty traps us in a cycle of fear, and loneliness feels like an unbearable weight on our chest. It's easy to feel we are alone in this struggle, that no one could understand the magnitude of our suffering, and yet, In that pain there is a silent message, the opportunity to rebuild yourself from the very essence of your being. This isn't about ignoring what hurts or pretending everything is fine. It's about looking at each emotion with honesty, feeling each tear as an act of release, and recognizing that even in darkness, light still exists. It's common to think that hitting rock bottom is the end of the road. We believe we've lost everything: hope, motivation, purpose. But the truth is, when everything seems to fall apart, a unique space opens up for us to rediscover ourselves. It's the space where we can ask, and who am I if I let go of what others expect of me? What do I want to be if the world stops imposing its rhythm? How can I live from my own truth without fear or guilt? Pain has a voice, and that voice is rarely gentle. It confronts us with our deepest fears: fear of failure, fear of not being enough, fear that our lives lack meaning. It forces us to face the image we've built of ourselves and to accept that some pieces have broken. But in that confrontation lies the seed of transformation. Because hitting rock bottom doesn't mean staying there. It means understanding that the bottom is the starting point. It's the foundation upon which something new, stronger, and more authentic can be built. Every tear shed, every sleepless night, every moment of despair is a reminder that you are alive, that you still have the capacity to feel, to learn, and to grow. In this process, it's essential to allow yourself to feel. Don't suppress your emotions or ignore them. Let yourself cry, scream, question everything, because every emotion you embrace brings you closer to understanding yourself. Every time you face your fear instead of running from it, you reclaim a fragment of your lost power. And as you immerse yourself in this introspection, something surprising begins to appear: resilience. It's not a trait you either have or don't. It's a skill that awakens when we are forced to face what we fear most. Every small act of bravery, every decision to keep going despite the pain, strengthens the inner fiber that holds your life together. Hitting rock bottom also teaches us about impermanence. Everything in life is transient: emotions, circumstances, even the biggest fears. When we understand this, we learn not to cling to what hurts us, not to let the past define our present, and to look toward the future with a new perspective. It's at this stage that you begin to recognize your patterns. You observe how limiting beliefs, destructive habits, and toxic relationships have shaped your experience. And in that recognition, freedom emerges. The freedom to choose for the first time a path that reflects your authentic self. The awareness of pain is, in fact, the first step toward healing. It allows us to see clearly what needs to be transformed. It gives us the opportunity to question what we have accepted as normal, to break from the routine that keeps us trapped, and to open the door to a rebirth that doesn't depend on external approval, but on the connection with our deepest essence. As you go through this process, remember, you are not alone. Every human being has experienced at some point their own version of rock bottom, and each of those moments contains the possibility of rising, of rebuilding, of emerging stronger and more conscious. The bottom is not the end. It is the call to awaken, to look within yourself, and to discover the strength that was always there, waiting to be recognized. After hitting rock bottom, after facing the deepest shadows of your life, a crucial moment arrives. The moment you decide to begin healing. Healing is not a linear path, nor a series of steps you can follow mechanically. It is an intimate, profound journey that requires courage, patience, and honesty with yourself. The first act of healing is to accept reality as it is. This doesn't mean resigning or giving up, but acknowledging the truth of your situation. Looking at your pain, your losses, your mistakes, and your fears without denying or disguising them. When you stop fighting against what is, you stop wasting energy on useless resistance. Only then does a space open up for clarity and transformation. Rebirth after hitting rock bottom is not a destination. It's a constant journey of self-knowledge, discipline, resilience, and self-love. Each day represents an opportunity to consolidate your inner strength, to align with your purpose, and to build a legacy that transcends adversity. True transformation isn't measured in visible achievements, but in the quiet coherence of your soul, reflected in every gesture, every decision, and every breath. If this message resonated with you, remember, Your rebirth never ends as long as you choose to stay conscious, present, and true to yourself. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and share your experience in the comments. Inspire others and let them too discover the power of rising up and rebuilding. Thank you for being here.